Another microphone, another test. So here's the backstory to that song God wrote on a windstorm or something like that. I'm trying to figure out if I should buy this Rode Mini NT, a USB or NT Mini USB microphone. So God says, Google Rode God or Road Lord or something like that. I can't remember what it is. I could remember it. When I did it, I did it. And hey, Google, check it out for me. What did I Google? And that came up. And like, okay, God doesn't have to force me to buy things. I'm only asking if I should. But yes, he's calling me Jonah. I think I better buy that microphone. And even, he even sings in the song, a Jew man or something like that. What's your name? And he says, Jonah. I said, no, I'm going to buy that microphone quickly. And when I got online, I purchased it from somewhere that was like top price, top shipping, expensive as all get out, but God wants me to get it. And then somebody had it on sale. And it was like, I mean, like one or two-thirds the price, I would say. So a third off, just about. And I purchased it from them. The other people were canceled it nicely, and it's been a crazy couple days as far as trying to get a heater in here. Now all the heaters are coming. At first, none of them would ship. Now they're all shipping. At least that's what they say. We'll see. I don't want to open the ones from Bed Bath and Beyond because I think I'm going to return those. Uh, they were kind of an emergency thing I wanted yesterday, and they never came. So it's kind of messed up. I think this mic is better than most that I've had for what I'm doing. It does have some processing within it. I was a little saddened that it wasn't Android accessible, which is the same idea. Just use it in Windows, adjust it, and then use it over in Android with the adjustments are saved to the microphone itself. It's a nice little mic. It'll hopefully work well while I drive off to Kansas City and talk doo doo about everybody. So it's very interesting. They wanted my statement as far as inside as to how I felt about everything that has been happening over the last couple weeks, including the release of I Spy people in government working different locations. Well, again, I gave it. I don't know who's who. I just was trying to ascertain what was what and who was who, and I knew it was happening. I just can't tell you who the good guy and the bad guy is, and that's part of their operation to confuse who's who. Now, when I worked, there was obviously people that were doing the wrong thing around my life, especially knowing that there was so much turmoil that they created using spycraft operation and the such. So thank you, Rode. You're building my microphones. I see that. Thank you so very much. What you didn't do, but you got it on the other mic. You got it on the USB Plus. This thing was supposed to have a built-in shock mount. Actually, you didn't have it on USB Plus. I guess I could use the other shock mount. I'm looking for a little lighter, but this is fine. I mean, it's a quality mic. I guess this cap is removable on the top. I don't know. It just has this kind of scuffed look to it. I probably could return it off of that if I was, really wanted to do it. But the microphone's nice. Rode built it. I know I've spec'd this in the history of looking for microphones. So I'm one of the people whose mind produced this Rode Mini NT. But because they're killing me, they didn't get everything. Now, again, this microphone is a standard microphone similar to the Yeti, where it has that 5/8 and it'll work with a 3/8. So you can put it on all sorts of things, including very small shock mounts made in China for under or around $10, anywhere from probably $8 to $20 that are made for the Yeti. So I was able to find a 3.5-inch microphone. This thing is supposedly 2.5, or shock mount. The microphone is supposedly 2.5 inches wide. So we're looking at some greatness here. Now that's going to look great. I'm going to have it set up. I drive down the road. For a second, I thought I bought the wrong mic because I thought the one had blue LEDs in it. No, I don't want blue foam. I want blue LEDs, Rode. Blue LED in the mic capsule area. similar to the Blizzard is red, the MXL Blizzard or the MXL. What's the blue one? I used to have that. It's like a little round eraser top microphone, and it. They had one with blue. It was white with blue. The Blizzard. That's it. The Blizzard. Yeah, I had the Blizzard microphone. They should have saw it coming. The pet plagues are upon us again. Remember, they go, oh, but it's affecting you. Yes, I told God, fire for effect on my grid coordinates with the plagues, with whatever you got to do to get these people gone. So again, we have memories of Texas. Not quite as bad. They powered up against God's blizzard. Although, God may be hitting a different location harder than I know. There may be a spot that God wants to take out, and it may not be Texas as much. I don't know. Again, I can only investigate this where I can investigate it. So I really do enjoy this mic as far as what I'm hearing in my headphones. I don't know what Restream is butchering it as, but it does have a noise gate. So again, Rode heard me. They put a noise gate in their microphones. What they do have, I have to write Rode. I don't know if I included them in my posts, and I don't know if anybody sees it because obviously there's people working for Facebook and Twitter that might block my tweets and posts from getting to corporate entities so they can develop their equipment around what I say. Again, one of their activities is destroying my credibility because they were criminals against me. Now, I'm not pointing to any specific individual. Like I told you, I only know certain people that are involved in it. And of those people, I only know for sure that a few are definitely devil evil, witch evil. So to get back where I was, Rode put the noise gate in there. They put the compressor in there. And they actually have a really nice high-end application of a compressor and an equalizer where they define it based upon those technologies. So that's really nice. It's kind of a mainstream podcast technology that they are using there. But what they didn't do is you have to put a Bluetooth controller in there somehow. You have to look at, what's it called? Sound Blaster G3. It's a little interface. You can, I don't know about their other interfaces. That's the only one I've ever owned. You get on your Android and you open the app and you can control everything. So it doesn't matter what you plug into. It's the same concept. Whatever I plug into, it's driverless. But what I have is something. I don't know how they did it. I didn't study it. But all I know is you can get on your Android, open an app, and you can control the DAC EQ, which is just hearing. The microphone is pretty flat. Volume has some monitoring and some volume and stuff like that, but nothing such as a compressor or an EQ, or what was the other one? The noise gate. However, you can control a DAC going out. I know you can control things going in, and all you have to do is move it through the Bluetooth. So it's probably a very streamlined process. It's simply that nobody's moved in that direction. So we have a mic that we can plug in to a USB and have that work. Now the next stage is have it plug in to 48 volts, the phantom power. And you do both. You can put an XLR and a USB and have that processing in the mic. And then you just walk up with your mobile device and you can control all of that. Now you may want, I guess, that would complicate it a little bit, but I think they have that option too. I think you can do it outside of Bluetooth. You can go into a Windows computer with the G3, and you can control all of those settings. So we're on a big sound test here. Testing the audio, test, testing the audio, test. So I don't know if all of this is like the piece de resistance of the week of torturing me, or the last 2 weeks of heavy torturing me. But it is what it is. Again, it's mighty cold out there. Very interesting yesterday. I wasn't cold. I had, I just I had my canvas Asian Kung Fu pants, and I had my t-shirt. So under my t-shirt, I had a long sleeve shirt, like a thin cotton one. And then I did have wool socks on, ankle high wool socks. I had put a what's that company called with the Russell, a Russell, real thin, but a thermal underwear pants, underneath. And I just out there. I wasn't cold except for my hands. I can't find any of my gloves. They curse my stuff away even without knowing they're cursing it, just simply cursing me. So I'm out there with, semi frostbite walking to my car. So my hands were cold, but nothing else. I actually found the container. Praise God. I said, thank you, Lord. I found the container that the gloves came in for Walmart. I shouldn't have bought those, but I can't find the gloves now. So I haven't worn them, but like once I tried them on or something. I had found my older pair, which I can't find now, which are very thin. They would barely keep my hands warm. But the one from Walmart, you can't use on a device, and it's just not going to work for me. It's so annoying to have to take your gloves off to use your device. Now, the ones I bought last year or the year before, and I think I did buy those at Walmart, but maybe somewhere else, they have the ability to use the device. I'll have to go back over to Walmart, try to exchange those if I can find them. I did get my actually we'll go over to here. We'll get off the sound stage here. We'll go to so yeah, we'll get up to Kansas. We'll blow the shofar at the border. I'm gonna have to mount that in my van cab again. They're just not worth it down here. God is so much has so much anger for the people that live in Oklahoma that he says it would be a sin for me to sound the shofar in Oklahoma. Satan does it enough through phony people. We'll go somewhere else and see what we can do with Kansas, see if they're with a holy God or with Satan and call Satan holy. I'm going to sip my coffee here. Isn't that great, Mike? At least I think it is. So, where was I? Shofar. Oh, I did get what was it? What did I get? Oh, I ordered. What happens is I bought that battery charger thing. It's not the big. If you know anything about me, if you've seen me, I'm on the side of the road, jump starting people's vehicles as a service. I attribute that to a middle-aged African American woman when I was in Philadelphia. Now, I'm interested in helping people on the side of the road already. I had the interest where I would pull over while I was driving to New York and change people's tires, or up in New York, change people's tires. An elderly couple want to give me money. I said, nah. I said, it's a pleasure. I have a retirement when I was like, 40 or something. So again, I had an interest in helping people on the side of the road that were broke down. I would do that. And then I was in Philadelphia. I was in my Bronco before I went off to California, and I was parked on a corner. It was like, I think I was just like kind of there. I don't think I even went in a store or anything. I pulled over and then turned it off. And I couldn't turn it on. I would pull over and I'd heal people at intersections and stuff like that. So I was pulled over somewhere around the gallery, I think. But like on Broad or something, or Market. I can't remember for sure. It's on like a main street. And she came, or maybe Arch, she came around the corner and saw me. And she came back and goes, says, I have this battery jump kit. Do you want to try? I said, yeah, usually I have to let it cool off a little bit. It's like I have to replace the starter. I think it's from what do they call that? Crud in the line. Essentially, it's dirty and resistance in the line, resistance in the starter. Once it cools, it starts. So she tried jumping me. I can't remember if it was successful or not, but after that, I said, Lord, that's what I should do, right? And the Lord said, right, that's what you should do. So I went and I got myself a battery pack thing. And then over the years, it grew. And eventually I had like a professional size one that they, even better than some of the ones they had in the tow trucks and stuff. And it was really heavy. Extremely heavy. I'm like, this thing, but back out, plug it in, take it out to the vehicle, that kind of thing. And it lived quite a few years, probably past when it was supposed to. And I bought this one recently, but I was thinking I could use the battery because it's a 280 watt hour battery for my devices. But then when I was using it on my trip to Kansas City, I said, but if a car is broken down on the side of the road or if I need a jump start, it's not going to have any power in it. So this doesn't make any sense. So I was going to buy another one of those, and it was a little bit more for one of those than what I did buy. They had a great sale. I think like $80 for like a 280 or something like that watt hour battery. It had 100 PD, which is what I was looking for, 100-watt PD, and it had two uh, electrical outlets, AC electrical outlets at the total would be 400 watts, which is plenty. So it has a 400-watt inverter with two outlets of pure sine waves. So I said, okay, that'll work, and I'll plug my devices into that, and then I'll have my jumpstart kit. It'll be well for me. And this one has like a little handle on it. The other one's in a case with the other, with the little what do they call those things? The jumper wires. So they plug in, and then when I was in Colorado, I called the auto club that I was part of. I guess it was my insurance company back then. It was Progressive or something, and the fella, maybe it was Geico. I think it was Geico, but yeah, it was Geico, I guess back then. He came out and he had something similar. It didn't have as big a battery as mine, but I'm like, "You sure that's going to start?" He's like, "Yeah, it'll start. Believe me." And he got up in there and just connected in. Boom, it started. So what they do is in Colorado, when they have all these breakdowns, the majority of people just need a jump start when it gets cold. So I think I left my lights on or something like that. So he gets hired not as a tow truck guy, but as this jumpstart guy. He's just got a car and a little handheld jumpstart kit, and he drives around and jumpstarts everybody. It's genius, And then if he can't do it, then he calls the tow truck in, or the flatbed, whatever the guy's driving or gal's driving. So that's interesting. So that extends the ability of that automobile club, and of course, he's not paid as much as a person in a wrecker or something like that to do the call. So it's kind of like, DoorDash or something like that, but they jumpstart your car. Um, so I purchased that battery, and that's going to work nice for my devices to keep them charged in the vehicle. And then shouldn't throw static because it's not running off of the car system. And then what did I buy with that? Oh, I bought another one of these booms. It was on sale, real nice. Because at first I was and the funny part is, at first I was going to buy. It was well priced. There's nothing wrong with it. I was going to use it for and I still might. It depends on how this works in the car. For my Shure thing. What is that thing called? My Shure M88 Plus microphone. I was going to use it on that because that's real light. And it needed a 1/4-inch adapter, and it came with a 1/4-inch adapter. So I'm like, okay, this is probably the one I got to buy. And it's shorter. I don't need that big length and that because that weighs it down and everything. With the, when you consider leverage and all of that. So that's coming in the mail with that, and hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. I got a couple radiator heaters that need to get here. I don't know if they're going to make it or not. I got a lot of stuff coming in this way, so I can, have my stuff all ready for my new place of residence, and the Lord bless with that one. If I left on the 20th, I probably would never have found. If I left all at once on the 20th, I probably never would have found where I'm going to stay. So again, it had to go a certain way for it to work. And it's funny. This is that's what he said. That's in my in the margin of my Restream web page there. He was sitting there and pointing to his eye. So again, that means C. I couldn't. I wouldn't have probably found it. So again, part of it I think is getting some credibility and credit up in Kansas and up in Kansas City. So that's starting to happen. And it doesn't mean that the deep state can't destroy it. Obviously, they've murdered plenty of people using psychology and worse. So again, they can discredit my life in a second, especially if somebody's greedy and they want some money or some drugs or some sex or whatever. They'll peddle to them to do it. or a new, bigger job or a new job or a task force position, whatever it is. All I have to say is just stay away from it. I told everybody else, just ignore me. I'm not doing anything illegal. There's a reason that I do what I do, and I do it for God. So again, just step away and do what you're supposed to be doing instead of what some criminal in government or otherwise tells you to do or pays you to do. And if it isn't a criminal, then it's surely Satan. So again, stay away from it. Uh, if you start attacking me, and I am your healer, you've prayed to God in church. You don't get to pick who God sends. Again, they prayed to God in church. They sent Jesus and they crucified him. So again, they prayed in church. God sent, or in synagogue, church, whatever it is, and they sent Paul, and then they cut Paul's head off. So again, this is nothing new. You're not going to fool me. You may fool the rest of the world, but you're not going to fool me. So again, we are going to hear from the pure ones how they're purer than me. But of course, we knew that would be the truth in the end times, that they would come along and have this quote unquote sinless life. But in reality, they were that which causes sin, and are that which causes sin and causes fallenness, and are those condemned in the Bible to forever in hell. The rest usually have some way out, because Jesus made a bunch of ways out and God made a bunch of ways out. And it's just the truth of the gospel. Again, I recommend that you believe in Jesus and you use that pathway back home. But Jesus had made way for people that are victims. God has made way for people that are victims to go home. Again, Ezekiel 34 is a big one. And Jesus reiterated Ezekiel 34 in many different ways when he blessed the victims and all those things. Well, stay peaceful for now. Or stay peaceful. I'm going to go for now. Stay peaceful. I'm going to go for now. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.